Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. My name's Levi McCurdy, and this is episode 176, dude, and it's back to plastic. We've got Donald Trump signing executive orders left and right. It is back to plastic with Donald Trump. If there's anything that this man hates to do and will no longer do in certain states that he inevitably has to visit, is use these decrepit, disgusting, dissolvable within minutes of a time paper straws that some people are forced to use every single day, like in New Jersey. If you go to a McDonald's in New Jersey, you are forced to put a paper straw in your cup.
What are we doing?
And the issue with that is you can't leave it in there for more than 5 minutes without it. It gets soggy on the inside and on the outside. It tastes disgusting. It's gross, but they make you do it anyways because why? We have to save the turtles. The turtles in the ocean will ingest the straws because our trash, inevitably, there's too much of it, so eventually ends up in the ocean, and then from the ocean, it floats, and because it's plastic, it doesn't degrade, it just lives on and on forever, and inevitably, because it will float on forever, it will inevitably end up in the nasal cavity, through then potentially the lungs and internal inside the body of a precious, adorable sea turtle. And so basically what we have here in our notes, it says now, is that Donald Trump is signing the executive order in the coming days for the essential back to plastic campaign, because if there's one thing Donald Trump cannot stand in his Diet Cokes is the paper straws. And I'm for it. I'm with it. Listen, is the executive order to shut down the Department of Education a good idea? Probably not. Probably not, okay? Because if and when that does happen, the issue might potentially be my son, which then now is an even bigger problem. So as long as we don't shut down the Department of Education, we're all for the back to plastic campaign via Zaddy Trumpets. Now, if simultaneously we bring back the plastic straws and shut down the Department of Education, it can't be, we can't, listen, you can't, it's not, that doesn't work. So we have to choose one or the other. Donald Trump, if you're listening, I'm sure he is. I think he's one of the 13 people that listens to this podcast. If we're going back to plastic, we've got to keep the Department of Education. That's the compromise, right? We have to compromise on some of these things. Like, do we tariff Mexico and Canada? Yes or yes. And then it maybe inevitably becomes a no. Like, do we do something about, the taxes and the deficit and the money, like the national federal debt being trillions of dollars every year because the White House is sending, $30 million to the Girl Scouts, $60 million for this event over here, $100 million here, $50 billion here. And so the spending, what we're finding out now, thanks to Elon Musk, our non-elected president, and basically his group of nerd interns, they're digging through the financial asshole of the United States of America, and they're finding that, spoiler alert, we've spent too much nonsensical money.
What are we doing?
Like no shit. Like no shit. Like no shit. The taxpayer dollars are being sent to millions of dollars, like police funds and campaigns and these just nonsensical things that the United States government should be spending your hard-earned tax dollars on, but instead they're not. So we're figuring that out. and at the same time demolishing education, but at the same time bringing back the plastic straws. Zaddy trumpets, it's a zinger. Every other day, you don't know what this man's gonna do. And to some people, that makes it fun. For some people, that makes it scary. And for some people, that makes it exciting. For some of us, it's exciting because at the end of the day, the man is going to sign whatever he wants to sign, and he is going to get done whatever he wants to get done first and foremost. Much like every other president before him, the last 46 have all done the same exact thing. And if you want direct evidence of that, Joe Biden pardoned his whole family. Hey, why'd he do that?
What are we doing?
And then at the same time, years have passed. George W. Bush, with the war in Iraq and everything that happened there with Syria. And then over the Obama administration and everything that happened there. Listen, I'm not saying that the Obama administration didn't do a good job, arguably one of the best presidents in this country's history. But at the same time, ask him about the drone strikes.
What are we doing?
And so it's just, we're a country of spending. We're creatures of habit. We have to spend. When we get the money in our bank accounts, we have to spend it. And so basically, that's just our nature. That's our nature as a country. That's our nature as humans. Like 90% of everyone you know has $0 worth of savings, $0 worth of retirement, and basically $0 to literally do anything that you want to do next Tuesday. So we're within an economy where, when we see things like Donald Trump claiming he wants to lower the price of eggs and bring down inflation and gas and all of this Biden economics and all the grocery store prices. The grocery store prices are off the fucking chain, bro.
What are we doing?
A pack of chicken Meg's got. Meg's just got us a pack of chicken from the grocery store down the street. 2 regular size, 1 pound for the whole pack of chicken breasts, 2 of them in a thing. You got to cut 80% of it off because it's fat and gibbly bits. So then you get 2 little slivers of chicken by the time of actual edible chicken when you're said and done. $15. $15 when I know for a mere fact, I told her, we've got plenty of other places to go, okay? There's Trader Joe's down the street. They got packs of $5 chicken. There's Aldi's. I know that there are plenty of places to go. I'm working on getting the fiance to drive past the main name brand, the Giants and Wise Markets of central Pennsylvania. We're done with them because they don't have, and then by the time we get to the grocery store, there's nothing. I went to the grocery store last night for some ground beef. None. The only ground beef they have was packs of 20 pounds. It's just 2 of us. I only need 1 pound. I don't need 20. And then there was none. And then the only thing that there was either Wagyu ground beef, Kobe Wagyu ground beef that had condensation water on top of it because it's been sitting there so long because no one wants to buy the Wagyu Kobe beef.
What are we doing?
From the grocery store. We want regular ground beef, but they didn't have any. So I had to buy the square. I had to buy the vacuum sealed square of Laura's fresh, all natural organic ground beef that was $9 or $10, $12 for the less than a pound of beef because it's just the prices at the grocery store are insanity. So when Donald Trump comes out and announces things like back to plastic, it's kind of like, whew, we're almost there. We're almost there. We get the plastic straws back at McDonald's. We get the prices down at McDonald's. We get the straws back. And then we get the eggs down, right? Like, is that kind of the plan? That's where we're going? Yeah. We'll demolish the Department of Education. It was an accident. I didn't mean to press the button, okay?
What are we doing?
We'll demolish the Department of the Education, and we'll strip away a lot of your rights, and we'll only recognize 2 genders out the gate, and we'll mess with the taxes, and we'll bring Elon Musk in, and we'll involve Mark Zuckerberg and all of my billionaire friends. Don't worry. We're still getting rich, even though I'm not taking the presidential salary. And so we'll eventually get to, once we're done with a few other things, we'll eventually get to the price of eggs and everything else that costs you an arm and a leg at the grocery store. And so because the price of eggs are so high, we've got none other than just multi-million-dollar heist happening here in just our backyard of hometown, good old state John Fetterman of Pennsylvania. And so this is why the price of eggs matters so much, because when they go up, people start doing desperate and drastic things, okay? When the price of eggs costs no less than $8 to $9 to $10 a carton, you can't even find the little 6-packs anymore. I used to be able to go to the store and get a little 6-pack of eggs for like, what, $1.99? Can't even find those now, okay? And so what then begins to happen, because you got eggs everywhere. Everybody needs eggs. Every restaurant needs eggs. Every household needs eggs. What recipe? I just looked at a recipe. Oh, I bought a bag of cheese. I bought a bag of shredded cheese the other day, and on the back of the bag of the shredded cheese, it said, hey, with this bag of shredded cheese, you can make a home-cooked country breakfast scramble. And I said, damn, that sounds good. What's the recipe? This bag of cheese plus what else? It called for a whole carton of eggs, a whole dozen, 12 eggs.
What are we doing?
What is this, a $47 breakfast, my guy? Are you insane? Skipped that one. So, you know what I mean? People start doing drastic things, and this is why when the prices of eggs are so high, we get stories such of along the lines of 100,000 eggs were stolen from a Pennsylvania farm, and why this heist essentially matters, okay? And much like the author of this article, we agree with the first sentence. I never thought of eggs as luxury, but guess what? In 2025, you do.
What are we doing?
They were always in the fridge or on the counter. If they were from a nearby farm, cracked into cake batter over easy on a sleepy Sunday morning, or the base of my mom's egg salad. They were the quiet workhorse in the kitchen, but now with eggs stolen in bulk, prices soaring to $8 a carton, and constant shortages, I realize something has shifted. Eggs aren't just eggs anymore. They've evolved, folks. They've evolved out of eggs aren't eggs anymore. No, the price is just too high.
What are we doing?
In the dead of the night, thieves in Pennsylvania stole 100,000 organic eggs. Let's do some math. Let's pull up the math. What's 100,000? Is that 100,000? Hold on, my calculator. 100,000 divided by 12. How many dozen is that? That's 8,333 dozen times $9. That's $75,000 worth of eggs. They stole folks, we're almost at $1 an egg. Okay. In the dead of the night, thieves in Pennsylvania stole 100,000 organic eggs worth if I would have kept reading, there it is, worth $40,000 from Pete and Gary's Organic Eggs, one of the nation's largest leading free-range egg producers. The company later acknowledged the incident, stating Pete and Gary's is aware of the incident in Franklin County, Pennsylvania, and we are actively working with local law enforcement to investigate. It sounds absurd, but it's part of a much larger trend, according to CargoNet's 2024 analysis. Cargo thefts. We're not even getting them from the farms anymore. We're stealing them off the boats from California and other states or wherever else that we're getting our eggs from. Not sure why our eggs are on cargo ships, but we're stealing them from there too. cargo theft incidents across the U.S. and Canadian. Oh, okay. So back and forth to Canada surged 20% with consumable goods like produce and staples among the top targets. The theft of eggs isn't just about breakfast; it's about the vulnerabilities in the food system struggling to keep pace with demand. While it may sound like a plot line from a crime drama, the theft highlights a deeper issue with the food industry, from soaring egg prices to vulnerabilities of our food supply chain. So I mean, listen, folks, it's a serious game out there. If you got the chickens, good for you. If you got the eggs, good for you. But it's a serious game out there. So as soon as Donald Trump is done putting all of his plastic straws back in the Diet Cokes that he consumes on a daily basis, we will most likely see the prices of eggs go down. At least I think that's what JD Vance is saying.
What are we doing?
Something along those lines. You know what I mean? Listen, we've got a new number one fan. We've got a new number one fan of this podcast, and I'll be honest with you, it's not necessarily, I don't even know if it's a dream come true, but it's one of those situations that you would just never expect yourself to be in life. Let me take you back 5 years. 5 years, like 5 years ago exactly. It's February, we're going into March. It's March of 2020, and two things happen. The entire world shuts down because of COVID-19, global pandy. Everyone's got to stay inside unless you're a essential worker.
What are we doing?
And unless you're an essential worker, you got to stay inside. So we were all stuck inside. So why not, after just a few weeks of being there, Netflix decides to drop the documentary that changed it all. The one we call and all know to love is The Tiger King. Okay, so fast forward to 5 years later, we get a second season. We know that like all the people are crooked and involved. Joe Exotic probably isn't even guilty of the crimes he's in prison for. We're pleading to Biden for a pardon. We pled to Trump the first time around. We're pleading to him now. We're trying to get Joe Rogan, Theo Von in the sight of the Tiger King. And so with all of that news and rumbling surrounding the man, we get this beautiful marketing campaign. So whoever is still running his accounts or setting him up with things in jail, or the access that he has, I don't know exactly how it works just yet. We're going to find out. But essentially, the Tiger King is online. Joe Exotic has access to the phone, potentially the internet. It might be his team. We don't know, but he's active. We've got music coming out, and just a few weeks ago, we took it upon ourselves to give him a little bit of free promotion, hopefully to get in the eyes of Trump, maybe the eyes of Rogan or Theo Von or whoever can help get this man pardoned. So we played some of his new music. And when we played his music, two things happened. One, him and his team found it, and two, him and his team liked it. And so they commented on the post, they put us on their Instagram story, and then a few days later, just Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday of this week, I get a random notification from Twitter saying I've been tagged in a video, and it's none other than the verified account of Joe Exotic himself with a clip of me from this podcast reviewing his song with a border and images and overlays and shit that he did himself as just a marketing piece of material. So we are now directly involved with Joe Exotic and the Tiger King team. We are in talks with their team, and here of just a matter of a few days, we are going to be laying out the logistics to have Mr. Joe Exotic on this podcast himself. Yes, major news and announcement. He's coming.
What are we doing?
And so we're working on all that right now, but essentially, now that we have found ourselves within the universe and within the lives of Joe Exotic and the Tiger King team, we're one step closer now with him to Joe Rogan, Theo Von, and eventually all the way up to Donald Trump. So we are aligning ourselves now with Joe Exotic. We are pro Joe. Hey, Carol Baskin, who? That bitch fed her husband to the Tigers, yo.
What are we doing?
Think about it for a minute and you'll fully understand where, you know what I mean? Tiger King all the way. So basically, we're having Joe Exotic on. He's a fan. We've been fans of him. So it's going to be basically the episode of the year. We're calling it now. We're going to do dummy numbers with Joe Exotic here in a few weeks. Get ready. I'm talking the stratosphere. We're going to be the first podcast on Mars.
What are we doing?
And it's all thanks to Joe Exotic and the Tiger King. We've got some questions already lined up. We've got a layout. We're working really hard on this. And we're talking to his people in the DMs right now. So shout out to our number one fan, Joe Exotic. Shout out to you. We're watching. We're here to help you make your voice louder. And essentially just be pardoned for these crimes that essentially he didn't commit. If you look at any of the evidence like we have for more than 30 seconds, because that's all of the attention I gave it, you will fully understand that he's clearly innocent. So Joe Exotic, he's coming soon, babes. And what better way for Joe Exotic to kind of slowly make his way back into our lives than someone else who we presumed at this point might have been potentially either no longer with us or like in solitary confinement somewhere or in hiding, protective custody. We called it a crypto coma, but Hailey Welch is back.
What are we doing?
The Hawk Tuah queen herself, the rug puller, the crypto scammer, Hailey Welch, has semi-unofficially come back out of the woodwork. So here's what happened, dude. She, in her infinite wisdom, for her first podcast back onto the scene, 8 weeks since we've heard from her after the notorious Hawk Coin rug pull, we all talked about it. She decides she wants to come back with none other than crypto expert himself, streamer, Twitch confidant, Call of Duty player, FaZe Banks.
What are we doing?
And so essentially what we can assume and what we've discovered through some research and some clips and Nathan Ross and everything else going on in that space is FaZe has essentially aligned himself with these little crypto geniuses who essentially just sit there in front of a computer and every fucking little meme coin that pops up, they plop $100 to $1,000 in it. They let it skyrocket to 60% and they withdraw and they turn their $100 investment into $1 million on a weekly basis. And so with FaZe Banks, with Banks now understanding how the crypto world works, he's got people on his team who understand the meme coin space. He's now taking it upon himself to talk to people like Dave Portnoy, Kanye West, all these people who have no business or any know-of-all in the meme coin, crypto, making your own coin space, and essentially trying to become, the guy. And so what better way to continue to prove that after a very successful Aiden Ross stream with him and his whole team talking about it, explaining it, why ETH is at a standstill, why Bitcoin is okay, but why you should really have a whole wallet full of Sol because that's where the meme coins are now. And if you don't have Sol, you couldn't have gotten the Trump coin and that would have been crazy and blah, 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 blah.
What are we doing?
So his second attempt to prove to all of us that he is this crypto expert was to bring back none other than Hawk Tuah coin herself, Hailey Welch. So they do it as part of her Talk Tuah podcast. Now, FaZe Banks went in with stipulations, okay? The stipulations were the following. 1, not allowing markets to be manipulated by leaking this episode's existence before a resolution was found. Fair enough. Essentially, they didn't want people knowing that Banks was a part of the episode. He's big in crypto. If they knew he was talking to Hailey, it would do something to the coin or whatever else, and people would inevitably probably get rug pulled again. And so, 2, her team would need to find a real solution regarding the money she made and where that should go and what to do with the Hawkcoin project moving forward. Okay, so now FaZe Banks essentially is aligning himself as kind of the middleman between Hailey Welch, Hawk2 herself, and this third-party team that launched and promised, all of the world to Hailey and her fans and followers. And so he goes on to say, these were non-starters, and we were told this episode would only ever see the light of day if we explicitly greenlit it. And then, of course, today of all days, yesterday, the episode randomly gets leaked and the price of Hawk2 starts pumping and everyone gets rug pulled yet again. So not only did they get fooled once, fool me twice, shame on you.
What are we doing?
So for the exact reason that FaZe Banks didn't want to do the Talk to a podcast with Hailey Welch in the first place was exactly what happened. And it's so fascinating to see how people, especially with their real life money, who don't exactly know what they're doing, lose so much yet again, a second time. And so you have Hailey Welch and FaZe Banks and his 2 crypto goons sitting around explaining to Hailey what went wrong, how she can fix it, why this happened, and how crypto can be used for good and not these necessary evils that her and her team have. Essentially, we've got a bunch of scammers interviewing a scammer on how they got scammed and how they'll continue to scam again because they're all just scammers talking to each other about scamming.
What are we doing?
You know what I mean? So we've got this clip. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but we've got this 2-minute clip here. She starts to cry. Hailey Welch, literally after making millions of dollars, not only from just her contracts and podcasts and advertisers and everything else she's got going on in the back end, but I'm sure some of the millions made from the Hawk2 coin went directly into her pocket. So she tries to cover her tracks here. Listen to this. This is how she's going to kind of give back to the community with a little bit of ad revenue from this episode, which I don't think she'll be getting because it leaked and we've all already seen it on Twitter. So here she is, and let's break it down.
I want to start by saying thank you to all my true fans and all the people that actually watch my stuff and they keep up with me. We're trying to sort out all the pieces and stuff to get all this figured out and make everything right. Oh my God, I'm going to cry.
No, don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Everything's going to be good. We're going to be good. And guys, listen, just as a temperature check, I just want to say, the first thing that she said to me off camera was, the minute you DM me, I really wish I just texted you and called you. And that speaks to me because of how I was introduced to crypto, and we'll get into that. But I'm also kind of on the back end of things too. Their team's been very forthcoming. My team is vetting them the fuck out right now and has been for the last week. Thread Guy and Frank, they're going to be on this episode. It's such a weird blend and mash of worlds.
And these are his goons, by the way. Thread Guy and Frank are his 2 little crypto experts. And what they do on a daily basis is they just have 6 monitors in front of them and they're just looking. They're constantly refreshing and just ADHDing at any little candle and any meme coin drop, because as soon as it drops, it's literally sometimes seconds, sometimes minutes, sometimes it's 10 minutes and you miss it. And then as soon as they hit a few, they pop and it's $1 million a week. It's $1 million a week, but you have to be in front of your computer staring at the numbers and watching the matrix just flash by. And if you don't understand that code, and you don't understand the matrix, you'll never be successful at the meme coin flip, put 100 in, get out at a 3 million market cap and get out at a 20 million market cap, blah, all the fucking crypto terminology.
What are we doing?
FaZe Banks is attempting to position himself as the expert here, and so we're attempting to emotionally talk Hailey Welch through scamming hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars out of just average everyday people like this.
It rolled out.
Don't cry, Hailey. It's fine. It's all gonna be okay. Life is gonna be okay. Oh, Hailey, no.
Oh, don't do that. Don't stare at me.
No.
You just
You're adorable.
Just give
It's
us a
gonna be
minute.
okay. It's gonna be okay.
Well, so basically, how this idea got brought to me, it was supposed to be like what do they call it, a long-term coin. And the guy that ran the account, he was like, "Oh,
FaZe.
What are we doing?
Look at him. As soon as she says it, as soon as she says they told me it was supposed to be a long-term coin, he knew. He knew they were scamming her from the beginning.
we're gonna change like the way everybody thinks of crypto. Crypto's gonna be a good place." And I feel really bad for all the people that got affected by it, and it just didn't go the way I planned. And all the money out of this episode is getting donated to all the animals that have been affected by the fires up here.
And I'll match it. Me, Ricky, I'll match it, whatever. It's really, really important for me.
Not the people who lost their life savings on the Hawk Tuah coin, but the animals misplaced by the California fires. That is a noble cause.
What are we doing?
It's a good idea. It's a good idea, and I think that's really going to give her a lot of publicity. I think that's going to be the headlines. When this whole thing inevitably hits mainstream, it's going to eventually just read, in the hellfire of her dumpster fire of a life, Hawk Tuah donates money to the animals, and that's going to be your saving grace. I think it's a great PR stunt. I think it's a great move. Just keep pushing forward. Don't worry about, the people who lost money. Don't worry about the team rug pulling again for the second time after this video leaks. I wonder who leaked it, Hailey.
What are we doing?
You know what I mean?
Me to make sure that we address everything and get through all of exactly what happened. I think that it's really, really important at this point to be totally transparent about everything that happened with you and your partners and this launch and in crypto, and what makes this bad and what makes what Iggy Azalea is doing maybe even good, and what makes Trump's doing different, right?
Okay, and so now here, and this is the end of the clip, but he's basically trying to justify, FaZe Banks is trying to justify that the Hawk Tuah coin is different than the Trump and Izzy Azalea coin. Ye had a coin or so. Everyone's just, Ty Guy, I think, made his own coin. Everyone's just making their own coin now to make a quick couple of $1 million.
What are we doing?
This is the scam of the year. A few years ago, it was NFTs. All of your celebrity friends, all of the billionaires were talking about NFTs. All the influencers were talking about NFTs. And then the market skyrocketed. And then what happened? 90% of the projects tanked. It went to zero. Ethereum's at a standstill. No one's buying or trading or selling NFTs anymore. Everyone's buying and creating and flipping and dumping meme coins. It's the new NFT, and it's just the new grift that every single person that there's an app. I just downloaded an app. There's a Travis Kelce coin. There's a Taylor Swift coin. There's a Dave Portnoy coin that he has no idea about. Someone just launched a Ye coin. There's a kissing coin with the logo is literally Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce kissing on the football field, and it's valuable.
What are we doing?
And so there's just anyone and everyone is making in these crypto coins every single day with the single hope that someone or enough people catch on for at least 20 minutes to dump anywhere from $1,000 to $100 in just to test the water, and enough people do that. Now you've got 200 grand in your pocket, and it's done. And that's it. It's a quick flip, and it's done. And so for anyone to think that the Trump coin or the Hawk Tuah coin or the Iggy Azalea coin or the Dave Portnoy coin or whoever's coin, I'm going to have a damn coin tomorrow. I'm making my own coin tomorrow, and I'm putting all my fucking money in it. And if you want to purchase shit from me, or if you need money from me, send me your address, send me your wallet address, because you're getting it in WAD coin. You're getting a WAD coin for your payment next week, Jeff. Congratulations. You better open a crypto wallet.
What are we doing?
Like this is the new scam. This is the new thing to do. This is the new thing to make quick money online from your favorite influencers like Logan Paul, FaZe Banks, Hailey Welch. And by the way, this beating around the bush that we're all doing, I don't know why no one's saying it, but this beating around the bush that FaZe Banks and Hailey Welch is doing, saying like, oh, Hailey's team, they're a bunch of idiots. They're scammers. You shouldn't associate with Hailey's team. They don't know what they're doing. Hailey's team is the one behind this. It's not Hailey's fault. She doesn't know what she's doing. It's the team behind the crypto project. Hey, Hailey's team is Jake Paul.
What are we doing?
She's signed to Better, is she not? Is the podcast and everything under the name Hawk Chua not been signed away to the Better Network? Like, I'm sorry, but why is Jake Paul not being held accountable for this? I cannot imagine that Hailey Welch went off and randomly on her own with no one else to help her found this company to make her a crypto coin and promise her the world without any input from Jake Paul. Like, let's get him on the phone. Why hasn't he mentioned the Hawk Chua coin? Because something tells me he's making 30% on the back end as well.
What are we doing?
Just a guess, minor speculation. But if I had to put any amount of Bitcoin on it, that would be my guess. So I don't know. FaZe Banks aligning himself in the crypto space. He keeps talking about Grand Theft Auto 6 and how you're going to get paid to play it on his server and the crypto and blah, 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 da, da, da. It's just, it continues to be an inevitable roller coaster. Am I invested? Of course I am. Did I put some more money into Bitcoin this year? Of course I did. Trump promised me it'd go through the roof. Trump said he'd make the United States the crypto capital of the world. So inevitably, I said, of course, Donald Trump, I believe everything you say. I believe everything Donald Trump says, and if he says it's going to be the crypto capital of the world, why wouldn't it be? He's bringing the plastic straws back.
What are we doing?
So why wouldn't Bitcoin go through the roof 30% this year like it did last year? I watched it. In 2024, from January to December, it went from $40,000 up to $100,000. And I said to myself, okay, that's it. It's going to do the same thing next year, so let's invest now. Under 100 I got in at, and now we just needed to go to 130, 150, and we'll be good to go. But at the end of the day, I think most, and if anything, the coins and cryptos that you're getting from playing on FaZe Banks Grand Theft Auto 6 server and Hawk Chua and Hailey Welch is better just in your average 4 or 5% savings account, put it in a Roth IRA and actually have a retirement or some amount of money to go out with to leave to your kids, because you know you got nothing now. Stop putting it in the crypto, dude. It's not good for you. It's not good for your health. It's not good for your wallet, and it's not good for the price of eggs. The more you put into crypto, the higher the price of eggs we're going to get. You know what I mean? And so this Spanish reality show that's going viral, I really wanted to enjoy it. I really wanted to know what was happening. I really wanted to know what they were saying. And so, as everyone here kind of essentially knows, we are a multilingual podcast here. Okay, I speak myself at least. I think, was it 23 now? I think it's 23. Yeah, 23 different languages, okay? Unfortunately, and I'm working on it for this year, Spanish isn't one of them. So I had to call my friend Jeff. We hopped on Discord, and basically we reviewed this viral clip. This is coming from a show called Montoya. It is a Spanish reality, Love Island, kind of F-Boy Island style show. In the clip, we get betrayal, we get two dudes going at it, we get the female, we get the crying on the beat. I mean, it's pure television. We talked about it. You'll hear me say it with Jeff. This is not Love is Blind, and anything Netflix or ABC can put out as far as reality television comes nowhere close to this.
What are we doing?
I'm telling you, there's some scenes in this clip that are like to the max. They'd never show on Love Island. And like just the overall dramatics of the whole thing, it's quite literally possibly one of my new favorite things. I'm going to find out how to stream this or download it or get access to it somewhere. I'm now a fan and will be tuning in weekly to the Spanish Love Island drama reality TV series Montoya.
What are we doing?
And so this is Jeff. We called it in. This is me and Jeff talking about it and him breaking it down piece by piece. Here we go. I need this. I need a rough translation. I think he's speaking Spanish. I hope he's speaking Spanish. So here we go. Ready? Watch this.
Cámara 11.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay.
Le da pena, mira qué asco, tío. Qué asco, cariño. ¿Cómo te vas a arrepentir de esto, cariño? Con la gambita, que me ha reventado. ¡Me ha reventado! ¡Llora! ¡Llora!
What's he saying?
He's like basically saying that he's like disgusted. Like, how can you do this? And I guess he's like screaming for Jordan. I don't know if that's the dude's name or the chick's name.
Jordan. Okay. Here, there's a little bit more.
¡Llora con ese escombro! ¡Llora! ¡Esto es lo que quieres en tu vida!
¿Que vamos a dormir?
Sí. Yeah, he's talking about the chick.
Lo hace por venganza. Ya he escuchado la respuesta, tío. No quiero esto verlo. Quiero ir. Venga, lo voy a ver contigo. Venga, vamos a ver lo que... Vale.
Papa frita va a llorar. A la playa.
Qué vergüenza, papa frita.
I'm pretty sure he starts to crash out. Like he starts to freak out.
Tú eres un mierda de persona. Te vas a arrepentir toda tu vida de esto. Disfruta. Disfrútalo. Disfruta. Me ha reventado por dentro. Me ha reventado por dentro.
Tranquilo, Montoya, por
Yo no he
favor.
hecho nada, coño. Solamente sentí. Quiere dormir, te ha dicho.
Si no estuvieras aquí, no sé.
Basically saying, if you weren't here, I don't know what I would do.
Oh, now it's
Yeah.
spicy.
Todo ve esto, Sandra. ¡Cabrona!
Por favor, Montoya, por favor. Por favor, Montoya.
¡Cabrón!
Montoya, Montoya.
¡No te amo!
Montoya, vuelve.
Estaba deseando, tío.
¿Dónde estás?
Montoya, por favor.
¡No te amo!
Where's he going?
Montoya.
I think he's trying to run after like to where they're at.
Oh shit!
God damn!
¡Me ha reventado por dentro!
Oh my god!
¡Te vas a arrepentir toda tu vida!
See, I didn't watch the whole thing, and it just went to 10.
That shit went from 0 to a fucking 100, bro.
Okay, so what? Basically, he's just yelling, "How could you? How could you?"
Yeah, like, how can you do this to me? Like, I hope you know, if this is what you want out of this whole thing, like, how could you? You're a bitch. You know, just being extremely heartbroken, and then it switches over to them literally, fucking.
Dude, could you imagine just getting the ride of your life, and this man is just screaming down the beach? You have to stop.
Yeah. That's
Apparently
insane.
now, hold on. There is, in fact, if you still have a minute, there is a part 2. This one, we don't need to translate anymore, but we can just watch for funsies. Here, hold on. I think there is a part 2. Yeah, here we go.
¡Sí! ¡Me has destrozado! ¡Con el papa frita! ¡Si tiene una gambita, fóllatelo! ¡Me has arrepentido toda tu vida!
Se están peleando.
¡Me has destrozado! ¡Te has cagado como nadie! ¡Alza! ¡Me ha explotado la mano la bomba!
My thing is, why he's picking up his pants like that?
¡Me ha explotado la bomba en las manos!
Well, I thought maybe you could explain. I thought that was just like is that something Spanish people do when they get mad? They just scrunch up their pants real tight in the groin area. I thought that was like a
I think that's just like a Spain thing because I ain't never seen anybody do that.
First of all, I have to figure out what show this is because all the girls are on top riding hardcore. The other half of them are in thong bikinis. What is this like? Is this like Love Is Blind Spaniard edition? Holy shit!
It's either that or like Fuckboy Island.
It's a Fuckboy Island, dude. No, dude. Carlos and I reviewed Fuckboy Island, and it was completely tame. The only thing that happened on Fuckboy Island was like when we got the reveal of when they inevitably decided to tell us who was an F-boy and who wasn't, and it was just like him on camera going, "Yeah, I'm an F-boy. I've been a fuckboy this whole time. I'm here for the money," and that's like it. That's the peak of F-Boy Island. These reality shows in the United States are so annoying because we know it's actually happening, but because they're on NBC, aka Disney, or what other network or BlackRock owned company it actually is, they won't actually show us them having sex, so it's less juicy. And it's kind of annoying if I'm being honest with you. I'm done with the whole Love Is Blind. I can't do it anymore. It's all like the same shit. Love Is Blind is the most broken. Like Netflix keeps, there's another one. I think it's dropping in like 2 days. I think on Valentine's Day, there's an all new season of Love Is Blind. And it's like, oh, I'm going to meet the love of my life because I don't care about looks. And spoiler alert, dude, guess what happens every fucking season? No one ever makes it to the altar except but one couple, because they actually kind of sort of are desperate and kind of maybe like each other. Other than that, everyone else breaks up because it's all about their fucking looks. Like, it's such a broken concept. I love it though. And so now little buddy here is trying to fight.
He's fighting for his true love, man.
Okay. He's basically saying he's done, right?
Yep, he's done. You can go fuck yourself. Now she's saying like it wasn't anything. You're an embarrassment. He's just saying like why.
Why? Can you imagine? And then this is she finally caught up to him, by the way. She was just running for 1.5 miles. She finally made it down the beach. The producers are like, we're never going this far for a shot ever again.
I gotta give my man credit though, because dude's cardio is up there for running that far and also screaming at the top of his lungs.
The issue is the part of the requirement process to be on any of these shows is a 6-pack and a 6-minute mile. So they have to. It's like one of the top requirements. Every single time, every single year, I think, one of these times they've gotta include like someone, like an average dude, someone who doesn't have a 6-pack, like just 20 pounds over, and it never fucking happens. There's like the chubbiest guy ever on one of these shows is like a guy who hasn't gone to the gym in, say, I don't know, 2 weeks, and it's maybe the week between Thanksgiving and Christmas, so he's eating a little bit more carbs. Other than that, you have to have like a full-fledged $80,000 6-pack to be a man on any one of these shows, and it's quite hilarious. Unless you're going to MILF Manor, because then I think anything they just take anybody, you know. So so now we're probably gonna hear him being heartbroken, right?
Yeah. Que yo te voy a montar a ti un mal rato.
A mí que no me venga a hacer eso, ¿vale? Que el primero que la ha liado ha sido él. Desde el minuto 1.
A ver, Montoya, sé que es muy duro lo que has vivido.
Yo he visto cómo se la llevaban a la cama. Lo que no quería ver era arrepentimiento por su parte. Me ha confirmado que es por venganza con Gabriela. Me ha confirmado todo lo que presentía.
He's basically saying that he didn't want to see that, and he regrets everything that he's done for her.
And now she's off in the mansion with her friends, saying like, "What a little pussy!" Like you're crying on the beach. Okay.
He's an embarrassment, and he ain't shit, basically.
I love it. I love, this is what reality TV in the United States needs to be. This is what we need to pick up. Now, I mean, TLC is kind of doing it with their whole My Husband's Not Gay kind of show, but that needs to be, the show's called Montoya. It's a Montoya, and he's watching his girlfriend have sex with another guy on screen. Yeah. Montoya is the show.
Yeah, I'm about to start watching that because god damn, the fucking drama was intense.
I love it. So this Sunday's the Super Bowl, dude. Episode before the Super Bowl, and we've got some predictions. Okay, we got some predictions. I'm thinking, here we go. We've got the Kansas City Chiefs. Who else is playing? The Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the thing. There's a subset of culture, and of course, my stepfather's included. I think he might be president of the club. There's a subset of our culture that believes that the NFL is rigged.
What are we doing?
You know what I mean? A lot of people would claim that some of the calls that the refs made in the last few Chiefs games, getting them to the Super Bowl inevitably, were questionable. Some would claim that those plays didn't even happen at all, and that like if they didn't call them as fouls or flags or whatever, the Chiefs wouldn't have won. So the whole it's scripted narration comes along every single year when the opposing team, the team who loses, and the team who wins. It's always vice versa. There's always a script involved because half of people won and the other half of the audience lost. And so with that then comes this whole other conspiracy theory every year, at least for like the last 5 or 6 years. We've had the NFL give us a Super Bowl Sunday logo with what would presumably be the deciding colors of the teams in the Super Bowl that year. The issue is they give us the logo before the season even starts, and we don't know who's going to win unless it was scripted. This year, once again, we've got a red and green Super Bowl logo. The Chiefs and the Eagles are in the Super Bowl. You tell me if it's scripted, dude.
What are we doing?
I don't know, but all I know is I just want both teams to have fun. And all I'm saying is we saw what happened last time. We saw what happened the last time. Taylor Swift was at the Super Bowl cheering on her man, Travis Kelce. Now this time, the stakes are higher. Why? Because they were in the Super Bowl with the Eagles before. I'm pretty sure. Was that a thing? I think it was. Yes, that's correct. And 2, everyone wants Kelce to give Taylor the ring, right? We think this year's the year that it's going to happen. So what better way with the confetti, Super Bowl champions yet again? It'd be a 3-peat in a row, dude. What a better way. 3rd time in a row, Super Bowl champions. Travis Kelce, get on a knee, propose to Taylor Swift. It'd be the biggest moment. It'd be the biggest moment of the year. There'd be no upstaging you. There'd be no other viral moment. There'd be no other viral photo, video. Every podcast, news outlet, every single blog on this planet would mention Travis Kelce winning the Super Bowl for a 3rd time in a row and then immediately proposing to superstar, billionaire, girlfriend, rock star Taylor Swift.
What are we doing?
So that essentially has to happen. So I'm rooting for the Chiefs because if the Eagles win, what have they got? They got a new rookie. They got a new guy who's been there. I think he's been on the team for a little bit and he's taking them to the Super Bowl. Is he going to win it for him? I don't think so. I don't know his name. I know the team's names. I don't know anyone else's name except for the Kelce brothers, of course, because they've just been shoved down our throats nonstop for the last 3.5 years. So that's the only reason I know their names. But I apologize to all the other players in the NFL. I don't know your names. I don't know the guy who everyone's talking about from the Eagles, Carlos, over the 280 Plus podcast. Go listen to his recent episode. He talks all about it, breaks it down, names, players, rankings, teams, the whole 9 yards. Listen to him talk about it and then come back here to finish out this wonderful episode. You know what I'm saying?
What are we doing?
So, yeah, Chiefs are going to win. Let's call that. And then the next bet that you have to make is whether or not Kendrick Lamar plays or performs Not Like Us at the halftime show. It's what everyone's going to be waiting for. It's what everyone's going to be watching for. And it's inevitably 100% why Drake has filed lawsuits against pretty much the entire music industry to stop this from happening, because it's the biggest platform, the biggest stage, and the biggest viewed thing ever. And Drake knows that Kendrick wholeheartedly wants to play that song for that exact reason. It's been number one for the last 6 months, and doing it at the Super Bowl yet again on the biggest stage that this country has to offer. Inevitably, Taylor Swift would have to argue that, but that's for another day. The Super Bowl is where you would want to play a song like Not Like Us. And so to stop that, you got to file some lawsuits. Will it stop it completely? I don't think so. My prediction, hear me out. I think either to start the show or in the direct middle of it, during a transition or an outfit change or whatever the situation might be, I think he's definitely going to have, there's no doubt in my mind that for the entire halftime show, maybe just a portion of it, but if not the whole thing, the Atlanta Marching Band will definitely be there in some capacity. And so either in the beginning or in the middle of the show, my prediction is you hear the horns, you hear, you know what I mean? Like you hear the beginning of the instrumental and then they transition immediately into the next song. I don't think we get a chorus. I know we're definitely not getting the A minor line. We'll see, dude. It's up in the air. It's a coin toss. There's probably a crypto coin dedicated to whether or not Kendrick Lamar performs Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. So find it and put your life savings. Invest in that bet. Whether Kendrick Lamar performs Not Like Us at the Super Bowl, some say he has to, some say he won't. Does he have the balls to do it? We'll see. We'll see, dude. We'll be watching. It's part of the only reason we're watching, but it's one of the reasons we're watching because it's the Super Bowl, dude. Of course, we're gonna watch. We couldn't get tickets this year. They all sold out. We had our $25,000 ready to go. But by the time it was our turn in line to buy them, they said, sorry, we're out so dunzo, you can't go. So we're going to have to go next year. We were going to go to the Super Bowl this year, but we're going to have to go next year. The commercials will be okay. The thing I hate about the commercials now is the fact that they're all out already. Gordon Ramsay, Area 51 Hexclad. That's for sure a Super Bowl commercial. They put way too much marketing into it leading up to the week. We've already seen Shane Gillis and Post Malone do their Bud Light commercial. Perfect. Love it. Can't wait to see that on the big screen. And pretty much everyone else, Danny DeVito's commercials are out. Everyone else inevitably already has a form of their Super Bowl commercials out already. Now, ones that don't really matter, probably save them for the day of. But when it comes to the Super Bowl commercials, meh. Like Doritos, I'm pretty sure we had to vote for theirs, so we might have already seen that. It's just the commercials are getting to be a little too, just a little too on the nose and just a little too over. They try too hard. What was great about early 2000s Super Bowl commercials were they just tried to do something that was new and unique, and not whether it was funny or not, that's how it went viral. Now we're trying to go viral. And the number one rule is every single time you try, you will inevitably fail. And that's how you go viral. You stop trying and you inevitably will get there.
What are we doing?
And so the commercials, okay. I'm curious, man. I'm curious to see what happens with the commercials. I'm curious to see what happens with the show. I think if any collabs, I know we've got SZA coming, but the one that I'm pretty excited about, I'm pretty sure this has been confirmed. I think Kendrick Lamar might have gotten Sabrina Carpenter as a feature. I'm excited. 280 plus. Get ready, buddy. You didn't know who Sabrina Carpenter was until last week, but now you do, because I'm pretty sure. Listen to this. Sabrina Carpenter remix Kendrick Lamar, Squabble Up. Ready? Listen.
Life goes on, I need to hug my babies. Woke up looking for the broccoli. I keep a horn on me, that come my seat.
Get it up. I mean, come on, bro. And then Sabrina comes out, and she like reveals her sexy sparkly lingerie with like a date for her new album or some shit. And then she's like, then we think about me, think about you, it's that me espresso. And Sabrina Carpenter makes her Super Bowl debut with Kendrick Lamar. I'm calling it now. I think that'll be it. I think that'll be the end. That'll be the end of the show. That'll be the grand finale. He'll open with himself. He'll bring SZA out for a song or two in the beginning. And then the grand finale will be Squabble Up. But then you'll start to hear that like that espresso instrumental in the background. And then boom, she'll slowly come up out of the stage. She'll go like this with her lingerie because that's what Sabrina Carpenter does because she's adorable and sexy and cute and beautiful. And that's just perfect. And that's what she does because she's hot. And then, and it'll be at the perfect timing for when it's time for her to go. And now he's think about me, living my own. And then the band is playing and the audience goes crazy. And I think if Kendrick Lamar wants to surprise the world and go mega dummy stupid viral, it's not playing Not Like Us. Scrap that shit. It's played out. They played on the radio every 20 minutes. We're done listening to Not Like Us. We get it. Hey, piss off with that shit. If you want to go viral and make it the most unforgettable Super Bowl performance ever, Kendrick Lamar.
What are we doing?
Call Sabrina Carpenter, get her on the phone, and make shit happen. That's what I'm saying. If you want to make it the most memorable Super Bowl ever, Kendrick Lamar, call the people now, get Sabrina on the phone, make the remix happen, have her come up out of the stage. Taylor Swift will co-sign. Taylor Swift will 100% co-sign Sabrina being there. They'll work on it together. They'll do it. And that is the latest episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening this week with me. Yet again, another fun-filled ride together. If you haven't done so already and you made it this far in the episode, I appreciate you and everything you do for me by hitting the like button, hitting subscribe. Let's make it to next week. Episode 177 is going to be a bit of a doozy. We're going to cover the Super Bowl, of course. We're going to go over anything else that happened, whatever presidential pardons Donald Trump might be signing that week. And we'll be right back right here next time on the What Are We Doing podcast. Peace out, everybody.
What are we doing?